Welcome back everyone to the 1 hour a day Tibia project, where we level our elite knight for 1 hour a day. This episode's going to be a big milestone episode as we left off on level 199 and almost level 200, so I think we all know what's coming. Once again, thank you for the amazing support, please keep it coming. We are starting out with 99 club fighting, 91 shielding and 17 KK balance in the bank also. So as always, let's get straight into it. Day 183. So first day of the week, we're looking to get some decent weeklies, and we managed to get poachers, werebores, banshees, dwarf geomancers and barkless devotees. The only one we won't be doing this week would be dwarf geomancers, as these simply aren't worth the time invested. So we started out by heading to Grimvil and began working on our werebore task. So let's see how that goes. This clip, I'm just taking some feedback from Rubenos, who has a great Twitch stream, so definitely check him out. We'll leave a link in the description. He suggested adding in some slow down clips of us getting some level milestones, so this is what we're doing with level 200 here. This is amazing for us and just shows the potential of the character with only 1 hour per day. So onwards and upwards with the character going forward. The rest of this hunt took around 25 minutes to complete and netted us a lovely 130k profit for this time, which is amazing. This gave us enough time to head over to a different spawn and try to begin working through another weekly task. Next, we headed over to the cemetery quarter in Yalahar to begin working on our banshee weekly task that we picked up. This isn't too bad of a task. It's going to be quite time consuming, but nothing too difficult for us to complete, so we will get this sorted as soon as possible. So we spent the last 30 minutes of the session here and managed to complete around half of the task. We also gained another 200k profit, which is amazing. This came mainly from the mutated bat ears and also pieces of dead brain from the brain deaths. So that's great. We should be able to complete the rest of this in the next session. So let's see how we get on. Day 184, we headed straight back into the crypts at the cemetery quarter in Yalahar. Hopefully we can complete the rest of this banshee task quickly, so then we can move on to another hunting spot as soon as possible.
Ready, action.
35 minutes later and we are done here. Another weekly task completed and also 200k profit under the belt. So this spot is decent for profit, so we'll come back here whenever we get bounties for this spot in the future. Next we headed to the Edron Hero Cave to complete the rest of the session hunting here. The main reason we come back to this spawn is that we only have around 250 heroes left to complete the charms for this monster. So then we can stop coming back to this spot as well, and we can move on to something else, which will be amazing for us. "20 minutes later and a small extra 40k profit, which is great, and another chunk taken out of the kills needed to complete the charm for heroes. Another good session here, and hopefully we can cross off another hunting spot off the list, which would be great and also helps us to unlock some more charms for future hunting to increase profit and also increase DPS. Day 185, we managed to head to the Gloom Wolf World Change Cave on this day when poachers and hunters were the main spawning creature. So that means we can complete another weekly task we have, which is the poacher one. So this means we should get completed rather quickly to let us move on to another bounty task and keep the experience ticking over. This weekly task was really quick and only took us around 7 or 8 minutes. Not much else to talk about with these monsters as they're not really profitable, so we can now move on to something a bit more challenging and new for us. Then we headed over to Abdendril to another spot which I haven't been to before on any of my characters, and this is the Barkless area. So I had to follow a small guide on how to get to this area and then also to the monsters that we need to kill as well. This task was really quick for us as well, as we managed to kill all of the Barkless devotees that we needed in around 8 minutes as well. So these tasks are really flying by. This spot is definitely not good for profit, but as this was really quick, we will come back to this spot if needed for any future weekly or normal bounty tasks. We then went back to Asavi to hunt exotic creatures for the rest of the session. We are still yet to fully complete the exotic cave spider bestiary, so this will be great to get completed and also another hunting spot crossed off for us. This spot is always decent for us for experience and also profit. In the 30 minutes of the session we had left, we managed to take ourselves out of the red in terms of profit to a decent 120k profit. This is great as we need to be able to afford imbuements for the recent equipment upgrades that we have managed to pick up. As we reached level 200, these have opened up greatly for us. Day 186, we returned to the exotic cave to continue hunting the spawn as we got both loot praise activated from the day before also, so it would be a waste to not use up the second hour of that boost here before rolling them into something else. So let's see how we get on with a full session of hunting this spot. So an hour later of this spawn and a very strong 400k profit from this hunt with a hefty amount of experience to match. Helping us now pushing these levels, and hopefully we'll see these levels fly up, and before we know it we may be looking at level 300 fingers crossed. Day 187, we rolled a Were-Badger bounty task, so we headed back to Grimvil once again, which definitely becoming to feel a bit of a flavour of our character at the moment, as we keep getting drawn back here for different hunts, which I definitely don't mind, as it's one of the better all-round spots we have access for at the moment. So let's get this task done and move on to the next. Half an hour later and the task has been completed with a lovely 210k profit to go with it. So definitely a great spot for us at the moment, and plenty of kills to go towards these were creature bestiaries that we're working on in the background.
So tonight with this, what we're doing here and all getting together, we have to realize that, well, this is special.
Then we headed over back to Edron Hero Cave, as we have another monster that's really close to completion, which is the heroes. So hopefully a couple more hunts here and we'll have this place scratched off also, so let's see how we can get on. So 20 minutes later and another big dent taken out of this hero charm. So we will be able for sure to tidy this up and get it crossed off in the future. Then we would only really have to come back if we had a weekly task we would want to work on here, or maybe even a boosted creature, but we will see. Also another 60k profit to go on top of what we made earlier, which is great for us. Day 188. We rolled a putrid mummy bounty task on this day, so headed straight to the spot underneath the Minotaur pyramid in Darashia. This bounty task is one that we'll always come back to whenever we roll them, because it's such great profit and keeps our balance flying up for future upgrades that we'll be needing to buy on the horizon that are going to be very pricey. So let's keep that balance in the green. One full hour session later here, we stayed after completing the bounty task, as we didn't roll anything else worth going to hunt on this day, so it was just better to stay here and keep hunting. We managed to pull in a strong 635k profit from this spot, which shows once again why this is such a great profit spot for us to hunt at the moment. Day 189, we had a boosted creature of the day, which was Were-Badgers. So I decided to head over to the top floors of Grimvil and see how we would get on for the day hunting here and keep progressing some of the were creatures bestiary. So let's see how we do in the rest of this session. So 1 hour later and we managed to make a massive 1kk just from this hunting spot and getting loads of creature products drops, as we also put them on our loot prey. So this was a huge day in terms of progression for the balance and making sure we took advantage of the boosted creature. So you'll definitely try and do this in the future. This means with this final hunt of the week we managed to finish on level 205, 99 club fighting, 91 shielding and 3 KK cash. This balance is now down because of the big upgrades we picked up along the way, with also the imbuements that we need for these items. So definitely a big hit, but definitely worth it for future progression. So if you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe for more progress videos, and as always, take care now.